So let's get into this video. About a month ago now, my nephew and I, along with his mom and dad, took a vacation out to South Dakota. We stayed at a motel in Rapid City. We ended up going on a helicopter tour. We ended up going to Mount Rushmore. And we went to the Needles Highway and drove that, and we ended up at Sylvan Lake. At Sylvan Lake, they had a kayak rental place, and they were renting Perception, like 12 and a half or 13 and a half foot long kayaks, which you'll see in one of my other videos that has a bunch of pictures with us on that kayak. And we had such a good time that I said, when we get back to Minnesota, we're getting a kayak. The questions I was asking myself was, do I get a kayak just like we rode out and that we paddled on out in South Dakota, or do we get to sit inside? Because I did a little research online, and I found out that I guess those are probably the two most basic kind, unless you want to go to like a stand-up paddleboard. The stand-up paddleboard, I didn't want that for, I guess, obvious reasons. I'm a bigger guy, and I guess bigger guys can stand up paddleboard, but it just wasn't my thing. I didn't want to be standing up all the time. Um, I found a Pelican sit inside kayak on Facebook Marketplace. It was a tandem kayak, very good quality kayak, and I really liked it. And then I started seeing some fishing videos, and I started thinking about, what if I want to fish? Could I fish from that kayak? Could I fish from the kayak I got in front of me here? And then I thought, what if my nephew decides he doesn't want to go with me one day or all the time when I go out? Can I take that kayak out by myself? The Pelican sit inside one, it said that, according to Google, you can take that one out solo, but since the seats are not adjustable, um, you got to throw a little weight or ballast in the front seat to keep it from lifting out of the water as much. And that can mess with the stability of that kayak and the tracking. This kayak here is a Lifetime Envoy 10.5 foot kayak, also known as the Lifetime 106. But it is a 10.5 foot kayak. It is a two-person or 425-pound capacity kayak, and it is the sit-on-top style. The seats are not the greatest thing ever. Um, there are videos on here about upgrading your kayak seats. For now, I just have the regular seats that came with it. We're going to zoom in a little bit here because you can see that back seat does have a pad on it. Now that pad is about as thick as maybe your pointer finger. It is not a thick pad. The padding on the seat backs is okay. I've been on this kayak once, and we'll be on here again later today. I was on there for 2 hours, and I was plenty comfortable on there for the 2 hours. I haven't done any 4, 6, or 8 hour rows yet, or been out fishing that long, so that I have yet to tell you how I'm going to feel. I think this is a pretty basic kayak for a tandem kayak, or for any kayak really. It's not sold as a fishing kayak, so it does not have any fishing rod holders built in, whether they're the um, kayak rack mounted ones or the built in where they're sunk into the body of the kayak. Neither kind does this have. So I'm just going to go over a few of the basic features that come on this kayak. We'll get a closer look at it. Starting at the front of this kayak, the Lifetime Envoy 10.5 footer, you've got the plug right up front, which does have a spot where you could put a lanyard on. It's got a pull handle. It's got one of these front and rear. So once you get to the lake, if you can park, somewhere where there's some grass, somewhere where you're not going to rough up the bottom of your kayak, but you could set the other end of the kayak on the ground and one-handed, you could drag this along. Or if you had a person on the other end, you could each have a handle to carry it to the lake, whichever you prefer. It's also got this bungee cord right up on front here, which you can easily remove. Let's see. There we go. We can move it from that one easier. Okay, so the front ones you can't remove. The back ones you can. But you could put a small cooler up here, I suppose, if you wanted. If you want to slip your shoes up here. Anything that bungee will hold, you can put in there. Let's move to the back just a little ways. So this is the hatch with another storage area on this kayak. And you just pull this cord off of that clip. And there is a seal on the back of this to seal it to the kayak to prevent water from getting in there. But anything that you can fit inside this hole, it's about an 8 to 10 inch diameter. I'll get a measurement on that later and we'll correct it better in the video. So definitely has a little bit of storage on it. Gotta get under that cord there. So this does not have, as far as foot pegs or foot rests go, it does not have the adjustable track style. Each of these spots here are considered a footrest. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 different spots along that kayak where you can put your feet. So plenty of adjustment there, plenty of options for different people of different heights. You can see one of the seat backs here, and here's another of the seat backs. But there's also a middle option, and that middle option is for using the kayak solo. So if you have someone that doesn't always want to go out with you, this, in my opinion, is what makes this kayak a little bit more versatile than, say, a sit-inside kayak. And that was probably one of my bigger decisions on getting this style of kayak. And then again, it's a sit-on-top style. I thought I might be able to modify or add a few things to it on my own to make it more versatile again, as doing some fishing from this kayak. So let's move on to the rear of the kayak now. So the rear of the kayak again has this carry or pull handle if you need to pull it. Don't be dragging across an asphalt parking lot because you're going to wear out the bottom eventually. But, if you park next to some grass somewhere, there's probably not too many issues with dragging it through the grass. So you could do that one-handed or with one person. The bungee cord system on the back here is similar to the front, where the back cords do not come off, but the front ones do. So again, you've got an option there to strap some stuff down, as well as another plug. On the back here is where it has your capacity, max 2 persons, 425 pounds. So I myself, I am a 255 pound guy. My nephew is about 70 pounds. So we got like 325 pounds. So we got about 100 pounds of material we can throw down on this kayak. If my math wasn't right there, don't laugh. From this side of the kayak, we've got the Envoy insignia right there. So let's do one thing quick. I told you this was a tandem kayak that could also be used solo. We're going to go over real quickly how to take these seats off. That's one thing I didn't see. They are adjustable. So again, if you want to use this tandem kayak as a solo kayak, you surely can. But I didn't see anybody online showing how to do this. And I want to show it. It's very, very simple. So you fold the seat down, which both the seats fold down. You unclip that, and it's very easy. It's just a little tension clip. There it's locked. There it's unlocked. There it's locked. And as easy as that is, when you're sitting on that in the water, you do hold it down. It does not come loose, or I haven't experienced that. So flip that up, put the seat back up, and just pull that off there. It's a pretty flimsy clip. So when I did try getting this on and off the first few times, if you don't hold that in place a little bit, when you're putting the seat back on, you can knock it off there. But it's very easy to move. These clips here just push forward, and that seat is off. It's as easy as that. And if we wanted to reinstall this seat, whether it's in the same position or the center position, and to put that in the center position, we don't necessarily have to take the rear seat out, but you can if you want. That way you only have one seat on here. So just go ahead and put that little clip back on, put your seat back in, push that through there, fold it forward a little bit, lock it down. Once locked down, the two halves of your seat clip may come apart, and that's okay. It's not broken. You didn't wreck anything. They separate fairly easily. So it's got a curved spot like a hook. You just hold that up there and turn it in. Now, these can be quite frustrating because if they turn a little bit, they come out. So you got to almost hold them in line with each other. Like use your fingers to hold them in line. But get up there like that. Get it on the hook, on the attachment point, and just give it back till it clicks. And that one's clicked already. With this one here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold it in, push it in there, hold it in line. And there your seat is adjusted. Just because we're missing this seat pad, you can sit on that hard area. I'm pretty sure that some of the newer kayaks, they show them that they don't even have seat pads. If you want to get a new seat pad, if you find one of these used somewhere, you can get new seat pads on Amazon's website.